Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is ZBT Jose coming at you from ZBT Games. And today we were playing, yesterday we were playing Conclave Control. We did pretty good. We went 2-1-1. This is based off of Nishi's deck, so, you know, the founder of Conclave Control, I guess. But basically, I saw this at the YCS Utrecht. I saw that Conclave Control deck, and I wanted to try it out. And then, Nishi has all the videos, so go check him out if you want to see anything Crystal Beast. He's got it over there. But this is kind of based off of the Utrecht deck and the newest Nishi video that he went undefeated at locals with some of my budget inclusions because I just don't have some cards. So without further ado, let's get into it. I just want to first, hold on. I pulled this Ultimate Rare Ghost Reaper of Winter Cherries, which is pretty cool, out of the OTS pack, so yeah. But let's get into it. So first, we have the 3 Sapphire Pegasus. Shout out to the Speed Duel Secret Rare. This is basically my one that's negated from the Crystal Beast Rainbow Dragon. But yeah, it's probably the best one. I won't go too much into detail. I'll probably follow up with like a more in-depth detail on what my choices were and how they kind of synergize. The one Cobalt Eagle, because we are playing Tikaboo in the main deck. And the 1 Ruby Carbuncle, these are your 2 1-ofs. This one's kind of a brick, but I was able to kind of loop Ruby Carbuncle and load up my Spell and Trap zones, so that was pretty cool. This one's also really good in the grind game, because if you need to condense your monster count, this one spins it to the top of the deck, so that's pretty cool. 2 Crystal Beast Rainbow Dragon. I was running 3, but it turned out to be a pretty big brick. It's really good, though, if you want to like push for a game. The 3rd one might come up, but I think 2 is perfect. I just have to get better at the deck, so we're not going 2-1-1. I believe this deck can go undefeated, just like Nishi's did, so yep. And then the big daddy himself, Rainbow Dragon. This is literally just for Awakening of the Crystal Ultimates. Nothing else. Other than that, it's a brick. There are some cool interactions that I'll tell you about later with this card, but we'll get there. Next, for the engine, 3 Rainbow Bridge. Pretty standard. 3 Rainbow Bridge of the Heart. This card's nuts. This card is an extra normal summon. You could pop one of your Crystal Beasts, and then they get crystallized into the Spell and Trap zone to search for a crystal spell. And when a Crystal Beast is crystallized into the Spell and Trap zone, you get to bounce a card. So that mixed with Conclave is like a double bounce. Plus, with something where on the side deck, you can get multiple bounces to hand, which is very cool. 3 of the Awakening. This card's cool. It pushes for game. It's a starter. It's an extender. It grabs you Rainbow Bridge. It grabs you anything you need, basically. This card is very good. The only stipulation is that you have to reveal the Rainbow Dragon. But you get that off of the Crystal Beast Rainbow Dragons, so not so much of a brick. 2 Crystal Bond. You want to see this, but it's highly searchable, so 2 is fine. It becomes a dead draw in like later games, so usually I'll add this off of like a Rainbow Bridge, even though I already used its effects, just to limit the amount of dead draws, because you can brick in this deck and you don't want to. Crystal Conclave. This card is also amazing. It sends itself and returns a Crystal Beast to hand to bounce something to hand. And then if a Crystal Beast is destroyed, you get to you get to special summon a Crystal Beast from deck. This paired with your Rainbow Bridge of the Heart is like a double bounce. Pretty cool. Same with the Crystal Miracle. Another way to start bouncing cards if you have Rainbow Bridge of the Heart, but this is, your Omni. It does everything. It also has a graveyard effect, don't forget about it, but graveyard effect's very useful. And then here is like our budget inclusions, because I can't afford Prospies, running Extrav. You'll see how I compensated for this in the extra deck, but yeah, Extravagance is really good if you don't have Prosby. I can't afford a Prosby, and no one wants to trade me a Prosby, so I basically only work off of trades. Then we got 2 Foolish Burial Goods. We're getting into our like field spell engine. That was just all of this is literally the Crystal Beast engine and your draw spells. The rest is field spell engine and then non-engine cards basically. 2 Foolish Burial Goods to jump your 1 Rainbow Bridge of Salvation. This card is crazy. It's not only a tier card, it's a... Whoa, hello. Focus. There we go. It's not only a tier card, it's a Crystal Beast card, because it's got, Rainbow Dragon in the front, but it adds you a Crystal Beast and any field spell. You never use it for its actual trap effect, which is hilarious. The field spells you can add, depending on the situation, is a Necro Valley, or you can add a Mystic Mine. Some people, for some reason, still are not playing the main deck out to Mystic Mine. This deck can play very well under Mystic Mine. You can bounce your Mystic Mine back to hand with Rainbow Bridge and Conclave. You could also bounce your own Necro Valley to hand if you need, if all your resources are in the graveyard, which is very cool. Yeah, so like your deck doesn't care about mine, so you could just sit under a mine and continue to beat their face in. Now the non-engine cards, D-Shifter, literally just to mess with your opponent. Obviously it's a good card if you're not playing D-Shifter. If you can't play around D-Shifter or play D-Shifter, why is it even a deck? Next we have the Bestials. I pulled these, so like I said, I only work off of pulls and trades. We ended up pulling everything we needed for this. This is actually very good. Obviously, they banish Light and Darks to special summon themselves, even on the opponent's turn, if they have a monster. Acts as a quick effect. The red one searches you for any dragon, so it can search for itself. It can search for... Oh no, it can't search for itself. It could search for the Druid Swarm, or it could search your Crystal Beast Rainbow Dragon, because it's a dragon. And if you have access to your Awakening of the Crystal Ultimates and you don't have the Rainbow Dragon in hand yet, it can get you your Rainbow Dragon. So it's got a lot of synergy. Very cool. Obviously this one sends if it's sent. And then 3 Tikaboo. This card's great. You can bounce it to your hand with Conclave and Rainbow Bridge of the Heart. So like, if it starts affecting you, you could just bounce it to hand and no problem. Very good. 41 card main deck. And then let's get into the extra deck. We're running 3 Baguskas because we do not want to banish it off of Extrav. There's never been a time where I banished all of my Baguskas, so we've been able to go into it turn 1 consistently with the Necro Valley. But this is literally like this card plus Necro Valley says sculpt your hand until you can kill them the next turn. So pretty cool. There's also a cool interaction you can do if you don't want to run the Cobalt Eagle. You can run the Emerald Tortoise, and I I believe if you attack with it or something, or special summon it, like you can put Baguska into defense after attacking with Baguska, which is pretty cool. That's an interaction I haven't tested yet, but you can do it. Abyss Dweller, Dugaris, Tornado Dragon, Time Thief Redoer, Zodiac Chakanine, Borbo, and the Zeus. Abyss is for tier or any graveyard shenanigans. The Dugaris is if you end up with Rainbow Bridge of Salvation in your hand and have no way to get rid of it. Same with the Tornado Dragon. It's just different flavors, basically. Or, you know, like extra targets. Time Thief Redoer, because it's funny. You don't really need it. You know, I did it just because I didn't want to Baguska lock somebody like 3 games in a row, so the Time Thief Redoer was pretty funny. And then the Zeus, because you can go 2 level 4s, go into Chakanine, then Borbo, attack directly for 0, and then you can make Zeus with 4 materials. You don't care about Zeusing your own board, really, so it's very good. And then we have our 2 Super Poly targets. I didn't really get to side in Super Poly. There wasn't a time where I needed it. But in theory, these are really good, and I would keep these in. Next, 1 Wind Charmer, because you can Secret Village lock somebody. So that's pretty cool. And then we have just Link good stuff. Yeah, everything is pretty flexible. Like, the only thing you need to run, like if you have the Prospies, one of these, one of these, one of these. I mean, if you have tier. The Zeus package, and those. So like all of these are kind of necessary. Well, actually not that. But all of these are necessary. Obviously, if you're playing Xtrav, I would play the 3 Baguskas. But other than that, like, you have a lot of room for whatever you like. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Like, you have, you know, 6 cards, 6 slots you can play with. This is kind of imperative for getting around, like, unaffected, untargetable guys, but yeah, that's pretty much it. Next, the side deck. I was very happy with the side deck. A lot of the back row hate actually didn't end up needing to be sided in, but one card that I sided in that was amazing, like going second, I mean, I almost wanted to main deck this. That's how crazy it was. Alpha Master of the Beast is a very good card in this deck. The fact that you can, you know, normal summon a Pegasus going second, and then, you know, oh, you still have more attack than I do, special summon this. Then you can bounce the Pegasus and this depending on what's on the field. Usually I never bounced it itself because I liked attacking with it. You can't attack directly with it, but it's fine. The fact that you can return the Sapphire Pegasus, and then you have like an extra normal summon with a Rainbow Bridge of Heart, and you can just keep going. In theory, this is like, depending on how many Rainbow Pegasus, or not Rainbow, Sapphire Pegasus you have on field, this could be, let's see, itself, and then 3 other Rainbow Pegasus. It's 4 bounces, and then you can extra normal summon for a Sapphire Pegasus, and then with Conclave and Rainbow Bridge of the Heart is 2 more, so yeah, so like 6 bounces with just this card and as many Rainbow Pegasus as you can get out in 1 turn is crazy. Very hard for people to play around this card. let alone they don't even know you're on it. Then we got our Super Poly. Like I said, I wasn't able to side this in. In theory, it would be good, like against tier. We don't have tier at my shop, but against other, like, let's say branded decks or stuff like that, this would be very good against. We have our back row hate, 3 lightning storms. In theory, this is good. There was never a scenario where I needed to lightning storm somebody. The games that I won 2-0. The games that I lost were very close. They went into game 3s. The one that I tied, obviously, like, not much you could do, but, you know, 3 lightning storm, in theory, very good. I would keep it. Next we have, like, our 1-0s. The extra Foolish Burial Goods, like Nishi said, if you side out your D-shifters when you know you're going first, side in the extra Foolish Burial Goods, the appointer, and then, like, whatever else you want, basically. This is very good. And then depending on the matchup, like Runic Sprite or Fluwanderies or any very, like, heavy spell decks, you side in the Secret Village. So yeah, very strong. And then, you know, just more back row, and anything you can't get over, you just evenly match them for game. So yeah, all in all, very good. My matchups were round 1, where I tied with Rika Sun Avalon. The Bystials are not very good against Rika because they are all water or earth. So, yeah. Those ended up coming out for the Alpha Master of the Beast, and then the Alpha Master of the Beast outperformed Game 2. I just wasn't able to close it out fast enough or do any damage before time was called. Round 2 was against Labyrinth. This deck is actually pretty good into control decks, with the one exception being Trap Outlich. I was not able to win against Trap Outlich. But yeah, we 2-0'd Labyrinth. That was a very good game. It made me think, but we did 2-0 them at the end of the day. So sorry about that, but I had to do it to you. And then round 3 was against Madolche. Madolche was a pretty good game. I 2-0'd Madolche. I felt really bad, because that deck is very cool, and I like that deck a lot, but yeah, they can't, especially if you side in Alpha Master Beast, like, they're not playing. Same theory with Madolche. Obviously the Bystials were not good at all. So we sided those out for the Alpha. Basically, anything the Bystials aren't good into, side in the Alpha and you're having a great time. And then, what's that? Round 4 was Outlich. It was actually branded Outlich, which, I think Game 2 was the first time I saw branded cards, so that's pretty funny. They beat me really hard with the recursion of, you know, Outlich and all the stuff that they can do. Ideally, if I, you know, changed up what my attack orders were, I could have closed out Game 1 and then had enough time for Game 2, maybe, but yeah, I ended up getting 2-0'd by Outlich, so we'll see. We'll assess, and then, you know, we'll come back to that. But yeah, all in all, this deck is good. Every time I play it, I get better at the deck. It's probably one of my favorites. Nishi was running the Cash Tiras in here. Obviously, I was not able to pull, or no one at my shop was able to pull any Cash Tiras, so we don't have Cash Tiras. In place of Cash Tira, we have Alpha Master of the Beast, and I think it works a little bit better, not gonna lie. But anyways, that's the deck profile. Hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. I'm thinking about bringing this to the regionals in Kissimmee. Oh, big surprise! I live in Florida. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully I can get some Prospies before I go to the regionals, but if not, we're still bringing this because I think this deck's very strong. But yeah, have a good one, and peace.